Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Tabitha MacDonald. I'm an intuitive coach. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Tabitha MacDonald. I am an intuitive coach and a body worker. And tonight we are going to talk about the five-step process to step into complete health and vitality. We have been doing a summer wellness program, part of my Soma wellness program, and it has been such a learning experience for me about wellness and learning how to teach people to listen to the intuitive structure of their body so that they can pull back the most relevant information for them. And that's what I want to walk you through tonight. So I'm recording this for my podcast, the Soma Flow Podcast. And then afterwards, whoever's here from the Soma Flow group or Soma Wellness group, we're going to go ahead and have a nice celebration at the end. But I am wanted to kind of share this process with, the people who follow me on my podcast. And I also think it's just really valuable information for the public to have. I've been working in the wellness industry for 20 years, and I have always put people in an outcome-oriented position when they come to see me. And when I found the superconscious work and magnetic mind, it really taught me that that is the nature of healing, is making sure that we know where we are going. So we, I mean, as someone who's worked in wellness and studied the science, like I will say that having the language of science is an amazing asset in the world of intuition. One of the things that I think people don't understand about intuition is that if you don't have a frame of reference for the information coming in, then it can get skewed. So, one of the things you always want to be doing is always be learning so that you can give the most accurate information in a way that the people that you're here to serve can really truly digest it and understand it. So, today we are going to talk about how every single human can create a healthy body. And obviously, that's going to be within the confines of your physiology. So, like, if you're 4'11" and you want to be a pro NBA player, probably this process is not going to work for you. But also, it's not your soul's intention for you. So, I want you to just think about that for a minute. Your soul has an intention for you, for your health, and for your body. And oftentimes we have, physical ailments that I like to call lifestyle diseases, and that's not part of your soul's blueprint. So tonight we're going to connect in with your soul blueprint for health. And you can do this and come back to this process anytime you want. You can do it for weight loss, you can do it for pain, you can do it for if you're just having, if you're having like psoriasis or eczema, um, the process will work to get information from your higher self about what the path forward is, as long as you know where you want to go. So, that is what we're also going to be talking about is what does that mean, knowing where I want to go? And I think this is probably one of the hardest questions for people, especially when they're in a lot of pain. And, when they come into the clinic, and that's my first question is, what would you like to be doing when you're out of pain? And a lot of the time, they kind of give me this blank stare, like, I just want to be out of pain. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, that's part of the problem because we don't have a destination. So, do you want to be golfing? Do you want to be playing pickleball? Do you want to be dancing? Like, what do you want to be doing when you're not in pain anymore? And, you can apply that same thing to, well, if, your weight is no longer an issue, what will you be doing in your body? If psoriasis is no longer an issue for your skin or eczema, like what do you plan on doing that will be different than now? And it's really important to understand the destination of where we're going. And when we're looking at like the internet for wellness and health tips, and oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how exhausting it is listening to all of the contradictory information that comes through on the internet. It's like, keto or vegan or intermittent fasting or whole 30 or paleo or like Weight Watchers or oh my gosh, the information is insanely vast. And the truth is that it's probably all right for the right person because your body is different than everybody else's. So what works for someone else might not work for you because it might not be in your design. The only way to know truly what your wellness strategy is to ask your higher self and to get the guidance from your kind of like internal healer, the version of you that knows how to create health for you. So I want you to think about that for a minute. And I just want you to kind of like think about what is a problem in your health right now that you really wish wasn't there. Is it like a pain? Is it something like a skin condition? Maybe you have recently been diagnosed with something like it could even be emotional health, mental health, physical health. What is something that you're like, "Oh, I just wish that wasn't there." And I remember when I had ulcerative proctitis, and man, if you've never had a form of IBS, it was horrible. And I actually got it like not long after I got pregnant. And I went to the doctor and I'm like, excuse me, by the way, this is going to be a little TMI for you if you don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I have bloody diarrhea and it's disgusting and it's all the time. Like, I couldn't walk more than a couple of feet without having to find a toilet. And it was horrible. Like, I want to say that was probably one of the worst conditions I've ever had. Gut-wrenching cramps and bloating and just, oh my God, it was an awful experience. So I go to the doctor and they diagnose it as ulcerative colitis, proctitis. And they said, well, you're one of the rare people who, when they quit smoking, develops this because the nicotine actually keeps it at bay. So I laughed. I was like, are you telling me I actually got sick from quitting smoking? Like, this is absurd. Look, leave it to me to like figure out a way to to get sick from quitting smoking. I was on the most expensive medication and it was just awful. Like, and it never fully resolved itself. And I just kind of lived with it going kind of in remission and then back and then in remission and back for a long time. And I remember when I was about, 37, it really flared again and it wouldn't settle down. And it's a really embarrassing disease. Like, I mean, you could be like thinking you're about to have a little toot toot and something else comes out and like it's not fun. Like you got to carry a lot of extra underwear with you. I know that's TMI and but anyways, if somebody's got to talk about the gross stuff. That's going to be me. So that was a really horrible condition and embarrassing. It was actually incredibly embarrassing because I just never knew what was going to happen. And it affected a lot of areas of my life, including intimacy, because like you just don't know what's going to happen. So um that that experience, like I went and paid for the medication out of pocket because my insurance didn't cover it. It was $1,200 a month for it. That's how, and I was a single mom at the time with no child support. That's how desperate I was just for the medication that kind of got rid of the symptoms. And finally, I was doing a coaching program. I was in one and I tried her anti-inflammatory diet. It was like 2 meals a day, intermittent fasting, no sugar, no flour. And it was for 3 months and it was gone. It was completely gone. I had been to the doctor so many times about is this lifestyle? Is it stress related? Is it related to food? And they said, no, none of that will help you. It has never come back, not once. Now, they wanted me to be doing $10,000 a year anal probes or whatever they're colonoscopies. And I was like, that just seems wrong. Like, it didn't feel right to me. And when it went away and never came back, when I got rid of sugar and flour, I thought, how many other people are suffering with basically lifestyle diseases that are costing them a lot of money. And when I started doing the research, it's a lot. I want to say, I think it was about 70% of disease was linked to lifestyle choices. In fact, here I have some statistics for you. 129 million people have at least one major chronic disease in the United States alone, such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, hypertension. And nearly 6 in 10 adults, about 60% of the population, have at least one chronic illness. And many chronic diseases are driven by a short list of modifiable behaviors, such as nutrition, activity, and then they're increased by excessive drinking and smoking or vaping or using some kind of a nicotine product. This one kind of killed me. It was like 42% of cancer cases and 45% of cancer deaths in the US are linked to lifestyle related risk factors. That means excess weight, poor diet, and inactivity. And this was a study done by the American Institute for Cancer Research. I was blown away. That means that lifestyle means we are in choice with the disease that we're creating for our body. That is a choice. Now, there are other lifestyle choices that are other lifestyle diseases, but number one is heart disease. That's the leading cause of death in the US and globally. And it is linked to high blood pressure, poor diet, excess weight, inactivity, and smoking. And then you have type two, number two is type 2 diabetes. And that is largely related to obesity, being overweight, physical inactivity, and diet. And it said in the US, diabetes is one of the top causes of death and disability. And then number three is obesity and excess weight. And that has a whole other link of health diseases. And I don't want to even like address like from a just a vanity point of view. This has nothing to do with vanity. Like I remember when we were studying muscle, it was like an extra for every extra pound on your body, it was like an extra 10 pounds on your knees and 4 pounds on your hips. So it degenerates your discs that cannot be replaced and your joints. And it's that stuff when you get older, you can't fix it. Like there's some things that you can't undo. And I don't know if people really understand, what their lifestyle choices are doing in the moment. Like, I don't think they have that long-term understanding and comprehension of it. And if I could give the world one thing, it would be this really like this is our choices matter. And as someone who just turned 50 and I'm down 100, and 20 pounds, I understand the battle with yourself. And also that it had very little to do with knowing what food to eat, how to hydrate or work out. It was my identity that was in conflict with the healthy version. I didn't have an identity for a healthy person. So it didn't matter if I lost weight, I would gain it back. It didn't matter if I, reduced my drinking, I'd find something else to be in excess. If I started working out, I'd get an injury because my identity of being a healthy person was in direct conflict with the identity of me being an unhealthy person. And that is one of the things that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I just want to say then we also have other diseases, chronic lower respiratory diseases or COPD, strokes, musculoskeletal pain. I think one of the number one reasons for visits to the emergency room, the last time I checked the statistic, was neck pain, and then back pain was number four. This is a largely lifestyle. Hypertension, high blood pressure, that's number eight. So if we're looking at our healthcare system and how to take pressure off of a healthcare system that is very burdened. Nurses are overworked and underpaid. And, we haven't even talked about drug addiction. I just had a nurse in from the emergency room and she said this guy came in. And, he put them all at risk. He was high on meth. He was completely inconsolable. And he was also, I think, drunk and on pot. I don't know. She had a whole list of things. I'm like, how do you even handle that? And she said 8 hours of just like sitting and restraining him, and the damage it did to her because of lifestyle choices is kind of like upsetting. And I get the root of addiction. I mean, I was married to an alcoholic. I understand. I also dated a cocaine addict for a couple of years. I didn't know they were on cocaine. I thought it was bipolar disorder or another mental health disorder. I understand addiction. I'm not sitting in judgment of it. Gabor Mate had an amazing training that I took on the nature of addiction and how it's really a trauma response. And it is a systemic problem, and we're not treating it correctly. We're not treating the root cause of it. So I'll talk about that another day because I also think like food addiction and other types of addictions are linked heavily to unprocessed trauma or to really poor coping strategies for stress and anxiety, depression, things like that. It's a self-soothing tool. And so whatever it is for you, that's going to be yours, but what we really want to be thinking about is who am I as a healthy person? And so right now I want you to think about how you would like your health to be. So this is step one. I'm going to teach you the process right now. And so you can get out a piece of paper or you can just listen along. Um, but right now I'm going to kind of like just show you the process. And then at the very end, we're going to do a really powerful process. It's called the Superconscious Recode. And I'll explain more about that in a minute. But right now, I want you to just really get into the clarity. You kind of wrote down already what you thought your problem was. It could be knee pain, hip pain. Maybe you're uncomfortable because your clothes are too tight, or maybe you're too, like, maybe you feel like you don't have enough weight. Maybe it's hard for you to gain weight. There's that too. Maybe you have IBS or migraines. Like, just write down kind of like what you think the problem is. And now, I want you to write down step one. What does perfect health look like for me? If I had a magic wand today and I could make an adjustment to my body and my mental emotional health, like how do I feel? In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of take you there for a minute. So, if you're not driving, close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And I want you to just let go and just pretend like you could imagine, if you could imagine, a moment in time when you actually woke up one day and you felt so good in your body. Like you get out of bed and you have energy. You feel happy. You're looking forward to your day. You're excited. You feel empowered and strong. Like when you get out of bed, you like notice how good and flexible your body is, and you can like visualize yourself just kind of like bouncing up the stairs, and you're like, oh man, I feel really good. I'm so grateful. I can just walk up the stairs so easily and effortlessly. And just feel like what would feel like if you could just wake up in a joyful state, excited about the day ahead. And then maybe notice like what are you having for breakfast and who are you having breakfast with? What does that look like for you? Are you rushed or do you have time? Do you enjoy a nice, relaxing morning by the fire with a book and a cup of coffee, or and your like little dog or cat by your side, or maybe you have a little one cuddled up next to you? Just knowing that you're in perfect flow and you have plenty of time. And just kind of like visualize this perfect average day in this healthy body. Are you playing a sport? Maybe you're going to the gym in the morning or taking a workout class. Or perhaps you've taken up a sport that you're learning, like golf or pickleball. Maybe you're learning how to run. And then just see yourself going through your day and you're making really healthy choices all day. Like just notice what it feels like in your body to just be someone who's healthy. And if it's hard for you to think of it, just think of somebody you know who's healthy and like, oh, like, what do they do that looks healthy to me? Like, what does that look like? And then bring in that energy, like, oh, okay, they're probably hydrating. They're like present and they feel in control of their choices, like they're in authority over their body, how they spend their time and what they do with their body. And then just kind of like imagine your day going even further, like into the afternoon, and just notice there's no afternoon energy slump. You just have enough energy to get through the day. And it feels really good. And you come home at the end of the day, or maybe you work from home, whatever it is for you, and you have energy for the evening. You have energy to spend with your loved ones, to go out and do things that you enjoy. Notice how good it feels to cook a healthy meal. Notice how free you feel in your body. And just really breathe in and make the experience even brighter. Make it more loud, make it more joyful, make it more healthy. Turn up the dial on the colors, making it more vivid. Really feel into this healthy version of you. What are they wearing? What does their face look like? Are they smiling and laughing? What is their energy like? Do people enjoy being around them? Like, just really feel into it and let go of it needing to be right or wrong and just play. Now, I want you to notice this version going to bed and just sleeping easily, getting a nice, restful sleep, and then waking up the next day and feeling equally as good. Body moves with ease and strength. And then now notice this version of you wave at you and welcome you to the table, and they're going to sit down and talk to you for a minute. And then you go and sit and talk to them and just ask, what do you do? What is your lifestyle like? This future version of you, because this is you in a quantum timeline. What is their advice for the thing that you wrote down as the problem that you have? What do they want you to know about it? How did they solve it? There's going to be like an action step or a strategy, or maybe you might even see someone's face flash in your mind, like maybe someone you saw online, like on YouTube, or a book you saw. Sometimes they'll communicate through symbology, meaning you might see an anchor and that might be, oh, okay, it's time to be more grounded. Or, you might see a color and then you have to just go, what does that mean to me? So take a minute and just write down the information that you got. And there's an action step in there and just ask. And if you're having a hard time with it, just say, what would it take to get the right information? What would it take to get the right information? And just keep asking. And if this is your first time kind of like stepping into the quantum field and asking your other self what the information is, then be patient with yourself. You can download one of my meditations. I have plenty that take a little bit more time. But go ahead and write it down. And then once you write it down, I want you to just kind of look at it. And I want you to look and think, what is the information that you got? Is this surprising for you, or is this what you were expecting? And this is like step two. But step three is we're going to meet the friction. We're going to look at the tension between where you are now and where you need to be. So, what is it like now? And I want you to just allow that to come up. You have many parts inside of you. There are parts that protect you, parts that nurture you, and parts that avoid pain. None of them are bad. They all love you. With parts work, we see three main types. We have managers, those are the planners, the perfectionists, the people pleasers. We have our firefighters, the binge eaters, the overworkers, the ones who say screw it when things get hard, and exiles, the little ones inside carrying shame, fear, grief, or trauma. Every symptom in the body has a part behind it. Sometimes the part actually prefers to be unhealthy, not because it's bad, but because it's safe. If your body once learned that being sick or overweight or in pain meant you got rest, you were nurtured or protected, your unconscious mind will recreate that over and over again on a loop. It's actually not sabotage, it's safety. I learned this when I was little. For years, every time I overworked or stressed about money, my back would go out. It was one of my body's ways of saying you need to rest, and this is the only way I can make you listen to me. So if I started, overworking or, not taking care of myself, my back would go out as a way to make myself take some time off. I learned a lot about being overweight had very little to do with anything other than protection. You know, Women especially, and I'm not sure about the statistics about males, but who have experienced a sexual trauma tend to hold weight as a protection. And until that's released and you feel safe to be beautiful, to be in your body will look for ways to put weight on as long as it thinks it's keeping you safe because it thinks that, being unattractive or perceived as unattractive is safer even than the risk of a heart attack. Like to your unconscious, this is not conscious, by the way. It's safer. Or, even when I was little, like to get nurtured or attention, it was always like, okay, Tuesday night, Tabitha gets to pick, and it was pizza. Like, and so for me, it was like pizza's a way of celebrating, or ice cream was a way of rebellion because my cousins and I would go get 15-cent thrifty ice creams on Ringstorff, like when we were little, as our way of like, being independent and rebellious. So there's so many reasons that we make the choices that we make and we do the things that we do. And many of our parts and aspects of our unconscious mind, they take over when we have an emotional cue or a trigger. And it's almost like, storm eating, or they call it fog eating, where you're like walking around and you're like not feeling like you're in charge of the decisions that you're making. That's usually a part that's taken over. They actually did a lot of research from dissociative identity disorder, which used to be called multiple personality disorder. And this is not the same thing, by the way, because we all have it. Every human being has it. It's just that when you have the disorder where it's become a disorder, parts take over and you're not aware of them. Most of the time, we know they've taken over because we're just kind of like walking around like a zombie and we don't even know that we're doing it. And we're like, why can't I stop eating this bag of Cheetos? Probably a part's taken over. Um, they've done a lot of research, in fact, in the pro about, healing the mind because some parts, when they did the research, actually were able to change eye color to get rid of diseases. I mean, the things that the parts would change when they would take over was insane, which means we all have the capacity to do that. So when we're looking at the recode, one of the things that we do with the recode process, which is what we're going to do next, is we look for the barriers to treatment. A lot of the time, those parts are younger. They were created when we were little or during a big trauma. And they're kind of like stuck in space and time, and they don't know how old you are. They don't know what the plan is. They thought they were doing the right thing. And so, as we start working with parts, They all get integrated into the choice. And that's why we have one choice, which is the one that we started with, which is I have a healthy, vital body. And as you start working on it, dormant parts will wake up and they're like, I'm confused. I thought we liked having knee pain because it meant this, and then they just get educated by your superconscious. Now, there are three levels of consciousness. Your superconscious is this infinite consciousness that is connected to the higher consciousness and can create changes in your creator field. So you have like a field around you of information that your conscious mind pulls from. Now, your superconscious can make changes to your unconscious structure in your unconscious mind, which houses a lot of the rules about your health. So as soon as you start saying, actually, I would like to have a strong, healthy body, then we look for the resistance. And the resistance might include, alignment with desire, meaning, do you actually feel like you deserve it? Can you commit to the things that's required to create health? Do you trust yourself? Is it an I am statement? I am healthy and I will follow through, things like that. Then we have our beliefs, and that's the beliefs that we have about our own identity, about the world and about other people. So if you have a belief that healthy people are rude and mean, and or maybe that you have a belief that healthy people are snobby or that they don't have any fun, that belief's going to be in direct conflict with you creating and taking action towards creating a healthy body. Then you might have definitions. Maybe your definition of health is, living in a really bigger body is healthy in your mind because that could have come from your family of origin and you don't actually see a problem with it. Maybe you have definitions around exercise that aren't in alignment with what your soul's blueprint has in mind for you or what your body actually needs. And then, like I mentioned, we have part-time personalities. We have our protector controller, the inner child, the pleaser, the perfectionist, the wounded. We have many, many parts and aspects of us. And then we have events, an original event where part of you decided that this is how it was going to be. And that part made a contract that's like, this is how it's going to be. And so we need to like remove the trigger from the original event and then install really healthy habits into that. And the recode makes this really very swift. This is where it's very different than counseling because what counseling does is you go talk about the event and we talk about new strategies. And I'm not a counselor, so I'm not really sure how the whole process works. I think it's really helpful for a lot of people. The reason I like, you know, intuitive coaching and superconscious recode is because we don't have to go and explore the event. We just go to the energetic imprint that the event left behind, and then your superconscious begins to chip away at it. Think of it like you're walking down a trail and you live on like maybe unhealthy island and you want to move over to the healthy forest. And you're walking down the trail, but on the trail there's all these downed trees. And the downed trees represent, old trauma and part-time personalities and emotional triggers. Any of these 10, it could be family history, unprocessed emotions, secondary intentions. Like that one's like a big one where it's like, oh, if I get thin, then I'll finally find a husband. If that's why you want to get thin, then that's not going to work because then you won't be thin because you want to be thin because you love it. You'll be waiting, and then once that secondary intention is solved, then you'll just go recreate the weight. So we start removing the secondary intention, separating them out into separate choices. And then a lot of the time, the body systems have, instructions. The DNA, the cellular memories, your tissue, your fascia, it all has instructions that feed into the choices that you make. And your conscious mind is actually the one that's directing the ship. So you're gonna like use your conscious mind, your free will to go, actually, I'm choosing health and vitality. Your unconscious mind is gonna go, here's all the reasons you can't have it. And then your superconscious is basically gonna come in and start turning those downed trees into dust so that you can start walking down the path. Now, you will get that's the recode part. So that's step number four. And then number five, you're going to get very clear guidance from your future self. And they're going to say something like, this is the next obvious action step to take. And then you either take it or you don't. Now, I will say the identity integrates and changes when you take the action. If you continue to not take the action, nothing's going to work. Like superconscious recode can only get you so far. You're the one who has to take aligned action. And this goes with like constantly installing the new identity. And sometimes the action is rest, and sometimes you'll like suddenly see like maybe somebody like me come up in your field and you're like, oh, she might be able to help me with my knee pain. Or maybe you'll see maybe a surgeon comes up or whoever it is, like there might be a mentor, somebody that will help you get there. Or it could be that you don't feel supported in the world, maybe, and that's all it was, and that was enough to shift it. So who knows? Because it's your field and your unconscious structure. And I'll just say the more, traumatic experiences that you've had, it can be more complex and it could take a little bit of time. But as long as you're taking the action that your higher self is saying, things will speed up and heal faster. A couple of weeks ago, I had my right arm had searing pain in it. And because I do the work that I do, I immediately went to what's the soul meaning? What's the mental? What's the emotional? And then the last one I checked was physical. And I created a recode for like right arm pain. And it had a lot to do with taking too much action and not listening to your feminine. It was like this whole thing. And I was like, okay. And then we also had some nerve entrapment and things like that. And, I think the pain was gone in like 2 days. But it was because I immediately knew what to do because I'm in this work all of the time. And that's really what I would like you to understand is how to use this tool to create changes for yourself in your physical body. And we all deserve to have a healthy body. And it makes me angry how many companies profit off of you being unhealthy. So if I could do something to really help people, it would be to empower them in their health and to know that change is possible and that it starts with you making a conscious decision to have it be a new way. So I'm going to walk you through the whole 5-step process again, since I know I kind of went through that process for a while. I will also include a link to a longer metaphor about how the superconscious works. When I first heard this, I was like, super what? This is weird. And now I'm 4 years in and I'm like, what do you mean you don't use superconscious to help you with the things? That's strange. Like, it's so funny how different it becomes. And it makes taking action easier and also knowing the right action for you. And it's so nice, like being a healer, having access to these tools because I can immediately go into the end result with my clients of, them being healthy. And then I can see in their field pretty quickly where the blocks are. Um, so if you're ready, I'm going to ask you to like, let's go ahead and go through the process. So we kind of already started it, but what I'm going to have you do is just acknowledge that we just went through a lot of information and just allow it to kind of all process and allow it to be there. The superconscious recode is a permission-based exercise, so process healing modality, which means it's not like hypnosis where it's happening to you. It's your higher self making changes in your field. All I'm doing is giving it the commands that it's asking me to. So as soon as I tap into your creator field, I ask your higher self where the resistance is, and then I give the instructions to your superconscious. So, pretty much I'm a translator and that's it. I'm not embedding anything. It's not manipulative on any nature. It's simply no changes can be made to your field that your higher self doesn't allow. So you cannot have like, mind control or manipulation. It doesn't work like that. This process is one of the safest things that I've ever experienced. And I had a lot of manipulation in my life. And so I was very terrified of anyone like messing around with my brain. And I just wanted to say that, like, this is the opposite of that. If anything, this aligns you with who you really are faster and more effectively than anything. Because once your higher self is in there, like, and guiding you and directing you, which is basically what intuition is, um, that version that your higher self isn't going to let anybody mess around with you because it's like, nope, this is not true. Nope, this is not true. So, with that said, please give me permission to access your superconscious field. And in your mind or out loud, you just say, I give Tabitha permission to access my superconscious field. And then take a nice deep breath in and just allow all of the information that came through to just be there. And just take another slow, deep breath in through your nose, expanding your belly. And we're really going to set the intention to just have a healthy body, vital energy, whatever that means to you. And as you step into that experience, I want you to feel how it would feel and really allow the emotion of being a healthy person to come into your active experience. What does it feel like to be healthy? And if you can't think of what that would feel like, pretend like you could. Think of someone else who represents health, or maybe there was a time in your life where you felt really healthy. Maybe you were running or you were out hiking in the woods and you just felt good in your body. And as we begin to go into this place where you're allowed to imagine, if you could imagine what it would feel like to simply be healthy, we're going to invite your superconscious to create the perfect treatment plan in the perfect way, aligning all parts and aspects of you with this choice, your free will choice to be healthy. And as you make that choice, I want you to just breathe in. Superconscious, can you see this desire? What would it be like to have it now? How would it feel if you already had this experience of optimal health, vibrant energy, mental clarity? You just feel good in your body. Allow yourself to have a full sensory experience of it right now. See through your own eyes and hear through your own ears. Breathe through the lungs of the healthiest version of you. Allow it to be as real as you can. And when you think you can't make it any more real, make it even more real. Turn up the colors, the sounds, the smells. What are you enjoying about being in this healthy body? What do you love about it? Just breathe it in. Can you make this feeling more intense and more real? How good will it be to be in a healthy body? How good will it feel? Feel it like it's happening right now. Breathe in and breathe out. And allow the feeling to flow through from your head to your toes. And now connect in with the golden light above your head. It's about 300 feet above your head. This is your superconscious field, and invite that light in through the top of your head. And see this golden white light coming in through the top of your head, pouring down your spine, all the way down to your fingers, your hips, down to your tippy toes. Feel your superconscious awareness flooding your field with the knowledge and the wisdom of who you have always been. An infinite being capable of creating magical transformations in your life. Now turn up the dial of energy. How much energy do you have in this beautiful, strong body of yours? How does it feel to move? Really allow yourself to experience it. Now come back to the current reality and allow yourself to feel what it feels like now. And notice that there were some behaviors, there were some things about that future version of you that maybe your current self is not in alignment with. Maybe how they eat or how they exercise. Maybe there's some things about that future version of you that your current self is like, I don't like that. I don't want that either. Allow that resistance to come up. Superconscious, can I please talk to the protector controller? Thank you. Superconscious, I invite the protector controller to receive a new set of instructions. Yeah, superconscious, please treat all part-time personalities, including the inner child who does not know how to use impulse control at the moment. Can we please teach new strategies for dealing with uncomfortable feelings? Yeah, superconscious, there's a lot of dormant parts that are waking up right now. Yeah. Can we please treat the original event that if it was treated, all subsequent events would have less emotional charge so that all parts can align with this choice of health and vitality. Yes, please treat and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Thank you. Superconscious, please have the higher self or the subconscious mind reveal all of the anger being stored in the body. Please have it all light up now. And you could see it like black plumes of smoke, and have your higher self come in and simply put all of that anger into black bags. And allow your higher self to carry it off. It's no longer necessary. You can let it go. Superconscious, please treat all parts that were holding on to anger and rage and using disease as a self-punishment. Please treat that strategy and please install a new healthy strategy that is in alignment with the identity of the healthy version of you. Please treat all resistance in the field and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Thank you. Keep breathing. And I wanted to check in really quick on a scale of 1 to 10, and we should have done this at the beginning. How much resistance do you have to believing that that is possible for you, that health and vitality is possible? How much resistance? 10 being that is not possible. I cannot make that happen. I do not believe it. And then 1 being, I feel like I'm already there. And just kind of like make a note of the number. We're going to use that as we go through to make sure that the changes are happening for you as effectively as possible. I want you to step back into the end result of that healthy version of you. How would you like it to be? Superconscious, please identify all of the sadness and the grief that is stored in the body. Please tag and treat all of it. Or you can see it like plumes of smoke no longer helping you, and you can put them in black garbage bags and have your higher self come in and pull it all out. Superconscious, do you see all of the parts that are really holding on to their grief and sadness? Can you please have them talk to the superconscious to hear the benefit of letting it go now and embodying more joy, for more freedom and peace, for more satisfaction in life? Yeah, please treat any and all resistance and do a massive change history and everything else needed. Thank you. Now I want you to light up all of the fear. Light up all of the fear in your nervous system and your unconscious mind. What are you most afraid of that healthy version of you? Is it that you won't fit in with your friends? Is it that you won't know who you are? That you'll be missing out? What's the fear? and light it all up. Superconscious, please, do you see the original event that created that fear pattern? Can we please treat the original event with the wisdom process? Yeah, please treat the entire brain. Please treat brain chemistry. Yeah, please treat the fear response, the fight, flight, or freeze. Yeah. Just breathe in and allow that fear just to kind of like pull up like black plumes of smoke and have it all put into these black bags and allow your higher self to come in and simply pull it out. Superconscious, do you see this fear of the future? It's an anxiety pattern. The fear of the unknown and the fear of uncertainty. Can you please treat that across all time, dimension, space, and realities? Please delete, uncreate, and destory it. Thank you. Good. Take a nice deep breath in and just kind of check in with yourself. How are you feeling now when you think about that healthy version of you? Superconscious, do you see all the parts that are not aligned with this future version? What would it take to align with the desired outcome of having a healthy, vital body? Anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Superconscious, please treat all sentence structures. I deserve health. Yeah, anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. I want you to think about the feeling of shame or guilt. Allow your unconscious mind to light it all up now. And go ahead and put it all in black bags and allow your higher self to just remove it. Please treat other people's shame and all trauma experienced because of other people's bad choices. Please treat this across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Please treat all states of victim consciousness. And please install self-empowering beliefs, emotions, and behaviors that are in alignment with the healthiest version of self. Thank you. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Superconscious, please treat family history. Please treat all inherited DNA strands and upgrade to the 12th strand DNA. Upgrading and optimizing all aspects of the human body with higher self, wisdom, and intelligence. Please upgrade all of the genetics. Thank you. Please treat all of those stress webs in the brain. Yeah, thank you. Please treat all drug and alcohol entities, addictions, and strategies. Please treat any of the physical consequences of past addictions or overuse of any kind of substance that caused harm or toxicity to the body. Please treat all 12 body systems, meridians. Yeah, please treat the cellular memories. And there's also some addiction patterns in the brain. Can we please treat those addiction patterns in the brain and remove all entities? Yeah. Please run the entity clearing loops from access consciousness. Thank you. Take a nice deep breath in, and I'm just going to have you continue to breathe. Superconscious, do you see all of the food addictions that are in the brain? Yeah, thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 100 shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. Yes, who were you before that? Truth. Thank you. Pot, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 100 shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. Thank you. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Superconscious, please treat all field interference. Yep, thank you. Please create a barrier. Identify any other, yeah, thank you. That's it. Good. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and treat all broken agreements, all times when you broke the agreements with yourself, others, or the world where you did not follow through with your word. Allow those memories to come up. And let's just have Superconscious remove the triggers behind those and simply keep the wisdom from the experiences. You were not failing, you were learning. We must move forward on your choice as if everything that happened before today you had no choice, but everything that happens after today you have nothing but choice. Anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Please install a very positive self-image, seeing beauty, strength, kindness made you kind, compassion, love. Unconditional love. Feel the sensation of unconditional love now. Superconscious, do you see the agreement with the mother not to have more health than her? Can you please treat that agreement? Mark it complete across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Please delete, uncreate, and destory it. Superconscious, please identify all resistance in the body systems. Please treat the liver. Yeah, please treat the sciatic nerve. Yeah. Please treat all of the fascia and muscles, the bones, the blood, the nervous system, the integumentary system. Thank you. The urinary system. Please treat all 12 body systems. Please find all resistance, old programming, and unconscious structures that are preventing health and vitality. Take a nice deep breath in. And just choose right now that you're going to commit to being a healthy person, that your body is this beautiful gift, this divine temple that your soul chose to inhabit in this lifetime, to live out its mission, its purpose on planet Earth. Choose to honor it, to respect it, and choose to just love it. And choose to be completely satisfied with where you're at now and satisfied with where you're going, knowing that neither point is good or bad, they're just different. Superconscious, do you see the resistance to taking responsibility for one's own health? Can we please treat that sentence structure across all time, dimension, space, and realities? Instilling self-empowering beliefs, behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. Thank you. Take a nice deep breath in. And now let's go back to that healthiest version of you, the one who already knows how to create the body you desire, the one that feels good to be in. Breathe in and make that experience really vivid, really alive. What does it feel like to be alive? Superconscious, do you see all the parts that are afraid of truly choosing to be alive? Yeah. Please treat the fear of one's own power and do a massive change history across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Anything in the way of being empowered, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Please treat any interference from other fields or dimensions. Please close off all portals and access points, restoring a very strong sense of self and a connection with the higher self. Yeah, please treat all of the chakras, restoring balance and harmony. Good. Take a deep breath in. And now just make the choice. You might still have resistance, but that's okay. Just make the choice. I choose to have health and vitality. I choose to be healthy. Anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Superconscious, please identify all pre-lifetime contracts of suffering, marking them all complete, closing off any future interference. Please treat fear of future events. Thank you. Good. Please treat and do a massive change history. Thank you. Now let's just do one final deep breath in and fully embody the healthiest version of you. See through their eyes, breathe through their lungs, and move through their body. Go look in the mirror. Take yourself in. Who are you? Notice how they look, how they move, how easy they smile. There are parts of you that might still be afraid of this version of you, and that's okay. Those are just old distortions. Superconscious, please treat all distortions. Please treat all image distortions created by self, others, or the world. And just allow the person to see themselves as the divine see them in their perfection and their beauty and their strength. Take in this image, removing all distortions. You must let them go now. Or not. It's your choice. But it is your free will choice to command that those distortions leave. Any distortions to seeing the truth are commanded to leave now. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 100 shorts, boys, poveds, creations, bases, and beyonds. It is commanded that you leave. You deserve a life of ease, joy, and glory. You can create almost anything you want. Just let it go. Take a deep breath in. See the distortion melting and the true you emerging. Take a deep breath and take them in. Now pick up your pen and write. What do they want you to know? What's the next obvious action step on your journey to health and vitality? Don't judge what comes out, simply write it down. And as you're writing, I want you to see this energy merging with you. See it integrating into every cell, every muscle, every part of your mental body, your energetic body, your emotional body, your physical body, until you are one energy. Breathe in and breathe out. Now carry this energy with you for the rest of the day. Superconscious, please ground all memories, including memories 1, 2, and 3, and return them to the matrix of the universe. Continue to write. What will it take to fully create the healthiest version of me? What am I committed to doing? What's the next obvious action step on my journey? Now I want you to see roots growing from your feet into the center of the earth. Connect in with the pink ball of light there and pull it up through your feet, grounding you back in the present moment and the present time, connecting you with your soul's purpose, your soul's mission on the planet. And you can come back and do this exercise as often as you like. If you're interested in taking this work even further, I have a membership called Soma Tribe. What I found doing the wellness program over the summer, which is something I kind of had a feeling, was that it was never really about the weight. It was about the unconscious structures that kept creating it. And Soma Tribe is my membership. It's like my soul's purpose mission is to help people remove those unconscious structures so that they can start magnetizing and manifesting more of what they love and less of what they don't. And there's different modules in Soma Tribe that include health and vitality, lots of recodes around health and vitality, but also money, career, purpose, creating a life that you love, and family and romance, love, pretty much all of this stuff that, people complain about. Love, money, wealth, and success and love, a lot of love, because I get a lot of people who want love and they don't know how to connect in with their future partner. And that's something that we talk about. And we work with like super conscious and choice points and, getting really clear on the life that you're creating. So I'm going to invite you to check it out. I'm going to put a link down below. There's a money back guarantee. So like if you join and then you hate it, I don't never want to keep people in my world who don't want to be in it. So there is definitely a refund policy. So come and check it out and see what you think. It's it is a very, I think, in my opinion, like my higher self is always like, this is going to be like the best personal transformation program, because I'm going to help you create it that way. And I'm like, well, we'll just go with highly ranked, but that's my that's my um that's my own stuff. But anyways, I'm very excited about helping people make changes that last in their life, especially in their health, because what I have noticed since I started doing superconscious health work is the changes that we can make in our bodies are so much faster when we remove the baggage. And a lot of it is up to you and if you take aligned action, but like being in a group coaching program it gives you that support. On our live calls, we always do intuitive coaching. So in the group setting, you always have access to me. And the replays are there for you all of the time. And so I'm going to invite you in to my world. It's a beautiful world and one full of possibility and potential. And I'm really excited about the coming year and growing the membership and really helping people achieve their dreams and their visions for their lives and really integrating their higher selves and teaching people how to use their intuition, not only for themselves, but also for other people, if that's a career path that's interesting to you. With that said, thank you so much for listening. And if you're on the Soma Wellness Celebration call, I'm going to stay on and we can chat and see how everything went for you and, check in. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hit stop now. And I hope everyone has a great reaction. I look forward to hearing about it. Take care.